Good morning. I want to talk to you about how we're going to deliver content for manufacturing this year. At different times, we're going to use different methods, and there's a new method that I'm going to use this year that I think is really important and would be really valuable, especially to help offset some of the things that happen in class when you have a large group of people with different level of experience and different levels of learning styles and so forth. So what we're going to do is make an addition. So this video is really to kind of explain that to you and give you some kind of feel for what's going to have to happen. Every year, it never fails. At the beginning of the school year, we'll be doing some of the stuff that we're going to need to do to get our foundational information so that we know what we're doing when we go out into the shop, which is our ultimate goal, to make stuff. But I always have students that say, when are we going to cut stuff? And so my response is, what do you want to cut? And they say, I don't know. And I said, how long do you want to cut it? And their typical response is, I don't know. And then so I think, maybe I should ask them what machine. So I say, hey, what machine do you want to cut it on? And they say, I don't know. And I only say this to bring up a point, okay? If you don't know the machines, if you don't know the processes, if you don't know the types of tools we're going to use, how can you be successful? So this beginning part of the year is always set to give us that foundational information, which obviously we need in order to be successful. But for those of us who get it pretty quickly, it can be long and painful. And by that, I mean last year we spent like 3 weeks on how to read a ruler. And that was because a small percentage of the class really struggled with it, and they genuinely did. But the rest of the class got it, and it was almost as if they were punished. So what we're going to do this year is I'm going to add another avenue to deliver the content. I mean, typically we'll have a lecture or some textbook work, something to give us some background information. Then usually there's demonstration, practice, and then obviously we would have an assessment of some kind to determine if we learned it. So what I'm going to do this year is I'm going to add videos like this, informational video. So what will happen is that video will give us that foundational information that you will watch. Then you will come to class the next day after having watched this at home outside of class. Okay, that's the key. You will need to watch this prior to class time. Then in class, we'll talk about it. We'll have some demonstration. We'll have some practice, some of the similar stuff. But what will happen is, though, is students that get it will be able to work and move forward. And those that are struggling and have some genuine concerns or questions, I will be able to have time to spend with you so that we can try and work on it and make sure that you get it, that you understand it. And that's ultimately the goal with this flipped classroom, is what they call it, where you flip the classroom and put the instructional portion at home and a video prior to class time, and then more class time can be used for group and individual investigation and practice, and hopefully we'll be in a much better position than sometimes in the beginning of the year when we have students who struggle. And then my plan will be to have things set up so that if you complete this and you get it and we still have some people struggling, you would be able to move forward instead of being held back. The goal will be to continually feed us more information. My goal is hopefully A, better understanding, B, out in the shop sooner, more time in the shop making stuff and cutting stuff. So let me give you a little example of what I'm talking about here. Okay, I'm going to switch this. Now I'm down in the corner. You don't have to see my big face anymore. And we're going to look at this. So in the beginning, we have all of these tools that we have to measure. We have a ruler. We have a micrometer, we have a depth mic, a height gauge, and we should have a dial caliper, which we don't have. All of those things we need to know how to read, to use, to understand in order to measure properly so that we can have success when we cut stuff. Okay? Here's our textbook, and over here on the right hand side is this really nice 3,000 page machinery handbook. It has everything we want in it, everything we need to know. Awesome resource, kinda hard to understand. So a little bit of training will make that a whole lot easier. How do we read a print? This is called a blueprint. You're going to get this. You're going to have to make this part, let's say. What does all of this stuff mean? Why is it this way, and over here it's this way, and over on the right hand side it's this way? Okay, so how to read and understand the views of a blueprint is important. Then we need to understand what all of this funny symbols and all of this stuff up here means. It's all relevant, pertinent, extremely important information that's going to tell us how we make the part, what we have to do to the part to make it. And by the way, when you have a project that has a print like this, all of these dimensions and all of this information is what's going to be the rubric to grade your project. And then we have the machines. Just a few of the machines. We have more than this. We have a lathe over here on the left, so we can make basically round parts. We have a mill over here in the middle, which basically makes square and rectangular shaped parts. And we have a surface grinder over here that we can grind to really flat, really nice finish on flat parts. All of these things, not only do we need to know how to operate them, we need to know all the operations that can be done on them. We also need to know how to use them safely. So safety is always in there. So to come back to my original point when I was talking to you, if we have some videos and we do some of this outside of class, it's going to make it a lot faster to get into class to be doing the things that we really would all like to do. So let's say I give you a video on how to read a ruler. Your assignment would be to watch this, take notes. The beauty of this is you can come down here and you can hit the pause button on me and you can write something down. You can rewind me and you can play me again so that you're sure that I said what you think I said. Okay, so that's one of the advantages of a video as opposed to live in class. The other part is frequently we have students who miss class for various reasons, and if you miss class, then how do you get that information? And it really slows the class down if we have to go and redo what we did yesterday because 4 people were absent. So this will become a resource that you'll be able to continually use. So in many cases, like I said, with this ruler, we're going to have to learn how to read a ruler. I'll have a video that will explain that information, and then possibly there might be some questions that you need to answer. Possibly there may need to be some other research that you need to do. It kind of depends on the video. But your job is going to be to watch the video, make sure you understand it the best you can, write down questions if you don't understand it, take some notes, and be prepared to discuss this in class the next day. Okay, we'll have some questions and answering, then we'll do some practice or demonstration, however we're going to go. It's going to vary depending on the topic that we're going to do. So, but you're going to need to watch the videos. So you're going to need to find a way to watch the videos. I plan on putting them on YouTube. Initially, that's my plan. I will set up a YouTube channel. I'll tell you where that is and all that, and so you will go and you will watch the videos. So many of you I see in class frequently watching videos, cat videos or car crash videos or whatever. You're watching videos on YouTube, on your phones or tablets or whatever. That's exactly how I'm trying to set this up, so you should be able to do it. So whether you have a phone, tablet, computer at home, the school has a library that has computers. There's many options for you to be able to do this. So after you watch this video, we're going to have some question and answer time to kind of explain it. It is a work in progress. This is the first time I'm actually doing this to this degree. I've done some videos before for training for my classes, but as far as trying to flip like this to see if we can shorten the amount of time that we're stuck in the classroom, that's my goal. Okay, I really like to be out in the shop making stuff myself as much as you guys do. So this is what I'm hoping will make it go a little bit faster, and we'll see how it goes. But that's the goal. So again, any video, come with questions. I am going to need you to be able to document somehow that you saw and watched the video, because when it comes time to retest, if by chance you do not do well on the assessment, but you can show me, hey, look, I have notes here, so I did watch your video, that would help qualify you to be able to retest with some additional things. We'll talk about retesting and those type of things when we talk about the syllabus. But for now, this is basically Flip Classroom is the method that we're going to use in addition to normal lecture, textbook, demonstrations type things. So I'm not eliminating anything, I'm just adding another venue to try and make it possible for you to get the best information. All right, thanks. We'll talk to you later.